The friend zone is a term that has been the subject of debate and controversy ever since it was first coined by Joey Tribbiani of Friends in the distant past of 1994. It refers to a situation in which one person desires romantic relations while the target of their feelings prefers a platonic friendship. This scenario can be a source of great frustration, stereotypically among heterosexual men with unreciprocated feelings towards women. However, it is essential to approach this topic with nuance, recognizing how people of all genders can contribute to the complexities of such relationships. Let's be clear, the majority of men who complain about the friend zone aren't in it. The term implies a genuine friendship in which one person harbors romantic feelings. However, most of the men who frequently express frustration over being friend-zoned aren't friends with the women they desire. Instead, they are co-workers, classmates, and customers who mistake politeness for romantic interest. The reality is that the women who are supposedly friend-zoning these men have not made the choice to socialize with them, nor do they rely on them for emotional support. These men are not in the friend zone. They are in the "my boss was watching, and I didn't want to get written up" zone, the "I only gave you this number so we could coordinate work schedules" zone, and even the "I don't care if your cousin kicks me out of the band, leave me alone" zone. This misplaced entitlement often leads to resentment. Some men believe they deserve romantic attention as a reward for their own kindness, or mistake a woman's kindness for a promise of physical affection. This mindset does nothing but perpetuate harmful stereotypes about gender and relationships. Genuine friendships do not come with strings attached, and kindness is not transactional. If you think of being nice as nothing but a down payment on a future romantic relationship, then you're not really being nice, are you? This frustration and sense of entitlement can easily escalate into harassment. Men who mistakenly believe they are friend-zoned might persistently text, call, or try to run into women who are not interested and cross the line into uncomfortable and inappropriate territory. It's crucial to recognize when your friendship is unwelcome and respect other people's boundaries. One of the most troubling aspects of this misunderstanding is, honestly, the potential to fall into involuntary celibate, or incel rhetoric. The incel community, exists to foster toxic beliefs about women and relationships, viewing women as objects to be won and blaming them for acting with independence instead of, falling in line. This mindset can lead to dangerous behavior, including the aforementioned harassment and even assault. Men who feel frustrated about a perceived friend zoning really must be cautious not to internalize these harmful ideologies, as they will only lead to further emotional and social isolation. However, it is important to acknowledge that women, like men, are not perfect. Some women may, knowingly or unknowingly, take advantage of legitimate friendships with men. These women might rely heavily on a friend for emotional support without considering the impact their actions have on their friend's state of mind. Emotional boundaries are important in the same way that physical ones are, and disrespecting them can lead to significant problems. Furthermore, women are people, and while some people are cruel, ergo, some women are cruel. There are certainly cases where a woman has actively manipulated and taken advantage of a man for personal gain. These women might string men along, enjoying emotional and material support without any intention of pursuing a deeper relationship. This behavior is not on the same level as harassment and assault, but it is still wrong. Much more common, however, are women who do not realize that they are crossing a line. They might genuinely value a man's friendship and not understand that relying on them for emotional support could be interpreted as romantic interest. While it's important to have friends who support us, relying too heavily on one person, especially when that person harbors romantic feelings, can blur the lines of a relationship. One common behavior that can, exacerbate this issue is trauma dumping. Sharing deep personal problems with a friend can create an inappropriate sense of intimacy, especially if that person is more of a casual acquaintance than a lifelong companion. Supporting someone emotionally is, honestly, very taxing. Constantly being an emotional rock really drains a person's mental resources, especially if there's no reciprocation, or if the support is given under the false pretense of a future romantic relationship. This kind of dynamic leads to burnout and resentment, and can eventually destroy the friendship as a whole. The key to navigating the friend zone, and really any relationship, is sincerity. The only way for a man to become comfortable enough to socialize with women, and even potentially to date them, is to do so without ulterior motives. Building authentic friendships with women without the expectation of romance is, just essential. This approach not only fosters genuine connection, but helps men understand and appreciate women as individuals, not prizes to be won. A man must learn to value and enjoy friendship itself, rather than merely seeing it as a stepping stone to romance. This shift in perspective can be both liberating and rewarding. True friendship enriches our lives and provides support, companionship, and understanding that are all honestly valuable in their own right. It's important to note that this process is not without its challenges. Men may encounter women who, knowingly or not, take advantage of them. In such cases, it's important for men to both set and enforce emotional boundaries. If a friendship becomes too taxing or unbalanced, it may be necessary to end that relationship for the sake of one's well-being. Think of it as pruning a tree. Sometimes you have to trim the branches to keep the trunk healthy. Learning to recognize and establish healthy boundaries is a vital life skill. It helps prevent emotional burnout and ensures that relationships remain mutual. Men should feel empowered to distance themselves from anyone who would exploit them, just as women should. Ultimately, the friend zone is, a complex issue that does not benefit from being reduced to stereotypes and one-sided narratives. It involves real emotions, misunderstandings, and sometimes, even manipulation from both men and women. By fostering genuine friendships, respecting boundaries, and being sincere, both men and women can navigate these complexities more effectively. Men who feel trapped in the friend zone should, take some time to reflect on their own motives and expectations. Women should be mindful of their friends' mental bandwidth and the balance of relationships. Both should strive to maintain clear and respectful boundaries for themselves and their friends, and avoid relying too heavily on others for support. In the end, the best chance for anyone to escape the pitfalls of the friend zone, honestly, lies in embracing genuine friendship. This approach is not perfect and, it will not guarantee success. However, it fosters personal growth, emotional intelligence, and an appreciation for the people in our lives. By prioritizing sincere connections and mutual respect, both men and women can build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Ultimately, the only way out of the friend zone is through a sincere effort to befriend others without hidden motives and to value all relationships for what they are, instead of what one imagines they could become. So let's take a deep breath, relax, and remember that friendship is a wonderful thing in and of itself.